How's it going, everybody? I'm going to throw up a 360 collection video here today. It's probably going to be my last collection video, as I don't have any more PlayStation 3 games since it died. I sold them all. I'll eventually get another one for when Uncharted 3 comes out, because there's a lot of good games coming out for PlayStation 3, but it's going to cost money to fix mine. I just do not have the money to fix it. And the hard drive's fucked no matter what, because you can't put it in another system without it reformatting it. And when you send it back, then it gets wiped, so that kind of sucks. Because I have all that downloadable shit I bought and stuff like that, so that pisses me off. I don't like thinking about it. But I will eventually get another one, or get this one fixed, or just get another one and sell the broken one, or try to fix it myself or something. But I also joined GameFly, which is actually perfect for someone like me. It's a good service for people who just want to get games, plow through them real quick, and send them back instead of dropping 60 on a game and beating it in 3 days and being pissed off about it. But anyway, this is the 360 collection. First game I have here is, I guess, mine for now. I bought it for Katie off of GameFly. Actually, it was only 10 bucks used. It's cool from GameFly. They send you the discs, and you get the games with the discs and manual, which is nice. But that's Dantes Inferno. This game, to me, is painfully mediocre. It is not terrible, but it's not great. It is a poor man's God of War. It does everything that God of War does, but not nearly as good. The combat's pretty good in it, definitely, and it's cool, you know, going through the levels of hell and stuff, and it's got some bizarre stuff in there, you know, a lot of tit shots in this game too. But the combat's all right. I mean, you know, the climbing, there's some parts that get annoying in it, like you got to swing from rope to rope, and there's some stuff like that I just doesn't do it for me. And it has a few moments. Some of the boss battles are kind of cool so far that I've seen. But like I said, it just you know, I guess after playing like God of War and God of War 2, it's just, you know, it's almost like a standard, you know, and when it's lower than that, you kind of get pissed. It's not a terrible game though. It kind of pisses me off from time to time, but you know, I'll try to get as far as I can in it before I give it to Katie. That's Dantes Inferno. This is a game I'm really enjoying. Another one I got from GameFly. Split Second. It's a cool racing game. Racing games for me need like a certain hook. Like just racing gets boring for me after a while. But this one's hook is you're in a TV show and stuff, and you have to like blow up your other opponents by destroying the environment and stuff. You get a little meter and you hit the button for power play, and like helicopters will drop stuff onto drop little bombs onto cars, or you know, it gets pretty intense. Like buildings will come down, and like there'll be like just like random gas trucks in the road that will explode and shit like that. You can drop beams onto cars. But then it gets crazy when you fill up your meter all the way. You can like alter the track course, like the route of the course. So like one level, this huge tower collapses, and all of a sudden you're like on an airport trip, and a giant plane comes down. There's another one with a huge boat. You trigger that one, and the boat slides down into the water, and like you got to quickly avoid it. I'm on the 4th episode, I think, so there's probably some more crazy stuff. There's other types of mission varieties too, like there's one where you got to avoid this helicopter shooting missiles at you, you got to avoid it. Or another one, these trucks are dropping off little obstacles for you, or little explosive barrels that you got to avoid and stuff like that, and there's time trials and crap like that. But it's a really cool game. Split Second. This is a game I really like, Splinter Cell Conviction. I'm not huge on the Splinter Cells because I'm not like super great at stealth games, and some of those games are very strict. You get to see them once, poof, done. This one's a lot more forgiving. There's only like one mission where if you get spotted, the mission's over. But it looks great, and it's kind of short. The gameplay's fun. You can do these like execution moves where you build up your little meter, and you can quickly do like, you know, execute a couple of guys in a row. There's co-op stuff you can do with somebody online. There's also other like missions you could do where you like just got to go through a level as like a regular guy. You're not Sam Fisher, and you got to like do it quickly and quietly and stuff like that, and they grade you on it. Definitely a really cool game. I'd pick this one up. Here's Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. I got this as part of a buy two get one free at GameStop. This is a pretty decent game. It's not terrible. The combat's not that great. It doesn't have a great feel to it, the combat, you know, for the sword fighting. Some of the dueling's kind of fun. But I like exploring the environment, so it looks great. You know, you got to find little hidden objects. I think certain objects you got to find like a certain amount of them in each level and stuff. It's really not that bad of a game at all. It's pretty good. It's Pirates of the Caribbean. Here's one I'm kind of disappointed with. I kind of knew I would be. I bought it to sell it for 10 bucks at Toys R Us, but it has no value, or wasn't selling that well. So I decided to just keep it and see how it was, and that's Kingdom Under Fire: Circle of Doom. If anyone's played the first two on the original Xbox, they were like strategy, Dynasty Warriors hybrids, where you had to like set up your little, you know, what you wanted your units to do, and then you'd send them to battle, and you'd control one of the people, and be like Dynasty Warriors, just huge crowds wailing on everybody. Really cool game, and this one's just like, I guess kind of like a 2 Human, or like a game like that, where you just run around environments, and you just like every like 20 feet you run into a horde of enemies, you kill them. The combat kind of sucks. You just kill them all, they drop loot, and you grab it and move on. It just gets so repetitive. It's not terrible, but it's just I've lost interest in it already, and I'm probably only put about 4 or 5 hours into it. The levels are kind of bland. I don't know, man. They should not have gone away from the original form. I don't know why they did. Maybe they thought it would sell more or something. I think they're making another one. Hopefully they go back to their roots, because this one's just not that good. Here's Gears of War 2. This is a great game. It's better than the first just because it's like much bigger in scope. The enemies are bigger. The enemies are more plentiful. You know, the story's a little bit better. You know, as it you know has progressed from the first one. Not great, but you know the voice acting is great. There's a lot of good moments in there between the characters and stuff. I love the 4 characters in it: Baird, Dom, Cole, and Marcus. They're fun. But, you know, like I said, the combat's great and stuff like that, and like I said, it's just bigger in scope. There's just a lot more going on in this one than the first one. The third one looks really cool, too. And the Horde mode's really fun as well. Here's a game that's very creepy. This is in, like, my top 5 creepiest games I've ever played. I played it when I first had the Xbox. But that's Condemned Criminal Origins. I got it again because it was cheap. $5, and I got it as part of the buy 2, get 1 free. But this game's creepy as hell to me. The environments are creepy, run down, and it's dark. You only have your flashlight. You got guys that are nut jobs running around chasing you, throwing stuff at you and shit. The combat is great, hand-to-hand combat in this game. It's light on some detective work. They improved that in the second one, but this one's creepier than the second one, I think. You gotta find like dead birds and pieces of metal throughout the level. I don't know why you have to find dead birds, but I mean, I guess because the thing that's happening is like birds are just dying all over the place, but I don't know why you'd be collecting them. Well, it's a really creepy game. Definitely pick this one up. It's only $5 used. Here's another game that's well, it's a psychological action thriller, as it says in the box. It's Alan Wake. This game is great, though. This game did not creep me out at all. It just didn't, you know, because you're just fighting people who are you know, been sucked up by the darkness. They're just humans. There are cool, like, there's parts where things get possessed and fly at you. But it looks great, and the combat is really fun. I like the story in it, even though it's pretty much like, kind of like that movie In the Mouth of Madness. It's kind of like that. Borrows heavily from a lot of different things. But it looks great. The enemies shout out weird stuff when they're chasing you and shit. And you gotta like find, I love finding things throughout levels. There's like thermoses to find. You gotta find manuscript pages, which kind of like tell you what's going on before you even get to it. I mean, the environment's pretty much just the woods most of the time, but it does look great. It's definitely a really cool game. I can't wait for the next one. I downloaded the 2 packs, the 2 episodes that you could download. Those were pretty good. They were weird as hell. Kind of short, though, like really short. But definitely a cool game, but not that creepy to me. So, Wake. Here I got Fallout 3. This is a great game. It's Bethesda open world game. A lot of stuff to do as always. Very cool side missions. I don't like the environment as much as something like Oblivion because it's just all run down wasteland. It kind of gets boring for me after a while. But I love the VAT system. I can just go into, you know, target them and blow apart their body away and see heads go flying and stuff. After a while when you build up your character. But like I said, the side missions are really cool. There's definitely a lot of cool stuff in there. You can go around finding bobbleheads, which are kind of a pain in the ass to find. But it looks great. And for, you know, even though the environment's kind of boring, it does like the Washington D.C. area and stuff looks great. But the environment's pretty big too. A lot of cool perks you can get as well. So that's Fallout 3. I still got to download some of the content packs for that. Here's the third one of the games I got for the buy 2 get 1 free. That's Bioshock. I played this back on the PlayStation 3. I just decided to get it again. It's a really cool game, great environment, graphics are great, you know, you got a lot of cool, I guess I think they're plasmids, you know, you get electrocute and all stuff like that, hypnotize, burn them and stuff like that, and cool enemies. Definitely a really cool game. The environment is great in this. I don't know which one I like better, this or the second one, they're pretty much the same thing. Oh, I do like the hacking game in this better with the little tubes and the blue stuff. You got to match the tubes while the blue stuff's coming. A lot of people don't like that. I actually really enjoy it. Well, that's Bioshock. Actually, before I get to this last game, I do have Halo 3 ODST, but someone's borrowing it. I actually really like Halo 3 ODST. A lot of people don't because you don't use Master Chief, but it's a different Halo game, which is cool. You have to, like when you're using the rookie, you're like going around at night in the city, and you have to avoid enemies more than attack them because they'll just outnumber you and kill you. You can engage in firefights, but if you have it on a harder level, it's a pain in the ass. So it's cool to just like stealthily get by them and stuff. Really cool. Definitely a really cool game. I enjoyed it. I'm playing Reach right now. I got that from GameFly out right now. And that's a really cool game too. But anyway, last game here is Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. It's different than the other Banjo-Kazooie games. You just you just build vehicles and this and stuff, and you got to do like certain challenges over the course of the worlds you go to. Either like you have to knock down dominoes in this one, or get someone to a certain place in a certain amount of time, or put out these like fires in this computer level you're in. A lot of different challenges to do. They mix it up pretty well. It's definitely a pretty cool game. I played about 4 or 5 hours of it. I got to keep playing it. It kind of got put on the back burner. But it's definitely a pretty cool game. I got it pretty cheap on eBay too. That's the last game, Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. It's not a huge collection, but you know, it probably will get smaller, so I figured I'd show while I could. But oh yeah, my Xbox 360 name is undercliches. If anybody wants to add me or anything, I'm on there a decent amount. I don't play too many games online. I've been playing some Reach online, but you know, if anybody wants to chat up on there or anything, feel free to add me if you want. It's just undercliches. I wanted to put Buried Under Cliches, but it was too long. But like I said, if anybody wants to add me, cool. But thanks everybody for checking it out, and have a good day.